Hello guys and welcome. We will dive right in. We have left off on the exercises on functions, and I will start a new terminal and make it bigger, of course, just like that. Now we will go into the Rustlings folder. Rustlings, and we just run Rustlings watch like that. And as you can see, we have left off in this exercise in the folder functions, and the exercise will be functions 1 RS. So I will open a new terminal, that one bigger, like that. Now I will make tabs so we have some space. Exercises, functions, and functions 1. This will be the first exercise, like that. So we will check what's the problem. So, cannot find function call me in this scope. So this function here, call me, not found in this scope. So as you can see, we have here the main function, and every Rust program will start executing in the main function. So in this main function, we call another function with the name call me. The problem here is that we have never declared a function with the name call me. So all we have to do is declare it like that, fn call me, and we can even leave it empty, I guess. Save it, and it's executing. So it doesn't have an output. So what we can do, just for clarity's sake, we can here print something to the terminal, like this is from the call me function, like that, and save. And now you can see in the output, after compiling the program, this is from the call me function. So again, we have a main function. We have a function call me that's been called by main, and then the stuff inside call me function will get executed, and the control flow will go back to main. So we have done it. We can delete this line, save, and now functions 2. Expected type found parentheses. Here the Rust compiler is actually expecting a type annotation, and also not found in this scope. So num has not been found. Let's open that one. Number 2. So what we got here is that on line 10, we didn't annotate a type in the argument of the function call me. So in Rust, arguments always have to be annotated by its type. So in main, we can see we call the function call me with an integer of value 3. So we have to annotate the type of this in this function declaration. So num will be of type i8, let's say. You can also type here 64, I32, but as the integer 3 is pretty low, I will make it I8. And now also num should be found, and we can save it. And it should compile. As you can see here, the output ring call number 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what we have here. We print this, and I gets incremented by 1 every time we call it. We are here in a for loop that will run num times. So in this case, num is 3, so it will run 3 times. All right. Going back to line 4, delete this, save. Now we are in functions 3. So let me open that one. So the problem is this function takes 1 argument, but 0 arguments were supplied. And here in the call me function call, an argument of type u32 is missing. So here it gives us a suggestion, and we will look. So yes, over here, line 6 or line 7, we see the function call me gets called by main. Now the control flow will go to call me function, but it expects an argument of type integer, or to be more precise, of type unsigned integer of 32 bits. So we haven't passed an argument, and that's why it's not compiling. So over here we type, for example, 5. Let's save it, and it should compile. As you can see, this is the output. Okay. Save it again. We open functions 4. Now, this looks a little bit more difficult than the other ones. The other ones were like warm-ups, and now we are starting expected type found curly braces. Here it says expected type, so even that one seems pretty easy. So on line 17, as you can see in Rust, we also have to define a return type, meaning what type is this function over here returning. As you can see, we start always in main. Now we have a variable here, original price, with a value of 51. And here in this print line macro, your sale price is, and it gets filled by this value here. Now here we have a function call, because sale price gets called here with an argument original price, which is 51. So we go over here, and in this case here will be passed 51, and it checks if is even. So we have another function call which goes over there, and it's passing the argument of price. Now price, as we see here, is the value 51. So this basically checks if the number is even or not. Then if it's even, you will return a boolean, and a boolean is basically true or false. So if num is even, it will print true, and if it's not even, it will print false. Or better to say, not print but return, because this is a return value. So it will return true in case it's even, and else it will print false. Now in this case 51, because num here gets passed from here, 51 is not even, so it will be false. So here it will return false, and that's why this statement is not true. So the else block will be executed, and it will subtract 3 from price, and price is 51, so we will have 48. Now 48 is an integer, so we have to define over here that the type it will be returning is integer, as we pass over here I32 and over here I32. I will make the return type the same, I32. I will save it, and it should compile. Your sale price is 48. Nice. So we delete this line here, save, and we go to the next one, and this is already the last one here. We open that. Now functions 5. Here mismatched types. Over here expected I32 found a unit type, so I will explain that later in the course. Unit type is basically an empty type, so implicitly returns unit type as its body has no tail or return expression. And here we have a help tip: remove this semicolon. So what's happening over here is that we are starting in main. We have a variable answer over here, and this variable gets the value of the function call to square. So square with an argument of 3 gets called, so num will be 3. And here what we are basically doing is multiplying num by num. In this case 3 by 3. And we will have a return type of I32. But the problem here is that it's not returning anything. So it's expected that it returns a value of type I32, but it doesn't actually. And here is why. So when you come from other languages, what you would do is type here return, and I guess it will compile. It is compiling. But in Rust, actually this is not very recommended, because in Rust you can just leave out this semicolon and it will return this type. So it will return this operation num times num, and it will return this operation and return an I32, and then it will be passed over here. The square of 3 is answer. So we will have the square of 3 is 9, because answer over here is this variable, and this variable gets its value from this function call. So we can save that. We can save that, and the output is the square of 3 is 9. So we have done it. We finished this course on functions, and I will see you in the next one when we start with the topic of if else. See you then. Bye bye.